miles every 4 hours for 48 hours straight. That is the David Goggins challenge, and it's being taken by a San Diegan for a good cause.
"20 miles to go, but it feels like it's about to be 100.
Legs are in pain. That's all I can say.
What motivated you to tackle this?
So I'm always looking for something that challenges me mentally and physically, but then I figured why not help someone else out in the process. So if I can raise money for charity while pushing myself, not everyone has the opportunity like I do to push myself this hard, for a full 2 days and have the ability to do it. Last year we raised money for a blind children's foundation that helps out research to try and uncover how hereditary blindness can be cured. And then this year we're trying to raise money for Second Chance Animal Rescue here in PB and a women's foundation that helps children and women that are affected by homelessness and abuse.
When the run got difficult, I would often count streetlights. Why? Because at some point, I realized that it wasn't so much the immediate moment that was painful, as it was the idea that I had to continue on, a fear of the unknown. Our minds are brilliant, because they have the power to gaze into the future, to anticipate, to predict, and sometimes that prediction materializes in the form of stress and pain in the present. A pain that, let's face it, is manufactured. See, the present moment may be uncomfortable.
All right, it's 2:45 a.m., 16 miles down. That alarm went off. It's gonna be a hell of a fright. But you will not break me. Let's go.
But it's manageable. It's always something we can harness and adapt ourselves to. But make-believe scenarios, the imaginary monsters we let in, well, I don't know how well equipped we are to handle those, so I've found solace in simply keeping them out. See, counting streetlights, it brings me to the now. I can always get to the next streetlight. In fact, it's always visibly in front of me. It's tangible, it's real. There is no space for tricks or scary stories. When I count streetlights, my mind's job is to focus on those tall metal fixtures, and the body's job is to listen and move accordingly. And while sure there is pain, it is manageable.
Things have gotten drastically worse. My quad is now even more sore, and my knee is starting to give off a bit of pain. I mean, it is what it is. It's getting windy out there. It's about to get cold. 20 miles to go, but it feels like it's about to be 100.
When you look it directly in the eye, not with regard to what it can be, but as it exists now in this moment, we can always rise to be more than we once thought possible. These streetlights simply remind us of that fact. And so beyond this moment, when the running shoes are off, long after the finish line crossed, it's imperative that the idea remains that yes, life will be painful and life can hurt, but it never gives you in one instant more than you can handle.
All right, I think 36 miles down, 12 lift. Zach, helped me, which was great. Legs are in pain. That's all I can say.
And sometimes it might seem so. Sometimes it might appear overwhelming, but when we remind ourselves that we're simply borrowing pain from a future that has not yet arrived, when we refocus on what is within our control, we empower ourselves. Our greatness expands and our strength intensifies. Because look, there's a time and a place for everything. And in our moments of duress, when the world is weighing down on us, I've found the answer to be thinking less and trusting more. And the next footstep transforms into not the detail, but the story in its entirety. Sure, sometimes life is about planning and calculating and strategizing, but sometimes life also calls us to put our heads down, shut our minds off, and find a way to move towards something greater. It's step, step, light post, step, step, light post, demoting the discomfort from the star of the movie or the main character to a subtle observer. Sitting quietly in the background as you do what you were going to do anyway, with or without it. Never forget how much control you have over the current moment, and that our greatest pain is often masked in a fiction, a delusion. When we find ourselves stuck, it's because of a future that has, one, not arrived, and two, is outside the scope of the task at hand. It's not because of what's around the corner that we survive life's trying times. It's because we dig deep enough to get to that next light post, that next day, that next stop, that next chapter. Look, you will emerge victorious. Not because of the future, but the now. Because you realize your strength, shut off the world, and conquered your next step.